Today we will review George Soros' life story. How did a boy from Hungary emigrate to the United States and became one of the most successful investors of all time? George Soros is one of the most successful investors in history and also at the same time one of the most controversial figures in the world. He has been praised for his philanthropy and support of liberal causes, but he has also been the target of conspiracy theories and anti-Semitic attacks. George Soros was born in Budapest, Hungary on August 12, 1930. His father was a lawyer and his mother was a housewife. His family was well off and had good prospects from the get-go. However, his family was Jewish and their lives were dramatically changed by the rise of the Nazi Party in 1930s. In 1944, the Nazis invaded Hungary and began deporting Jews to the concentration camps. His family hid, using false papers to avoid being captured. In 1945, the war ended and his family was then able to come out of the hiding. However, many of their relatives unfortunately had been killed in the Holocaust. In 1947, the Schwartz family then emigrated to England. George Soros enrolled in the London School of Economics, where he studied philosophy under one of the most famous philosophy figures of the time, Karl Popper. Soros was a very bright and ambitious young man. He was determined to succeed and worked hard to achieve his goals. He was also very lucky to have survived the Holocaust and had the opportunity to study at the prestigious LSE. Soros' early life experiences had a profound impact on him. He saw firsthand the evils of fascism and the importance of democracy and human rights. He also learned the importance of perseverance and resilience. George Soros is now worth $8 billion and has donated over $32 billion to philanthropy through his Open Society Foundations, which he founded in 1984. Soros is considered one of the most philanthropic humans of all time. Let's now look at investors George Soros' young contributions and how he got where he is today. After graduating from LSE in 1951, Soros began his career in finance. He worked for several merchant banks in London and New York City. In 1969, Soros founded his first hedge fund, Double Eagle. Double Eagle was a success, and Soros soon became one of the world's most successful hedge fund managers. Soros is best known for his boom-bust theory of financial markets. He believes markets are inherently unstable and prone to periods of irrational exuberance, followed by periods of panic. Soros used this theory to make his investment decisions. He's willing to bet big on his ideas, and that has made him billions of dollars in the process. In 1970, Soros founded his second hedge fund, Soros Fund Management. Soros Fund Management was even more successful than his first hedge fund, and then Soros became one of the richest men in the world. His daring investing decisions caused the funds to grow rapidly, but not all of his gambles succeeded. He correctly foresaw, for example, the world stock market crash of October 1987 called Black Monday, but then wrongly predicted Japanese stocks would fall the hardest. In 1992, Soros made a famous bet against the British pound. Soros believed the pound was overvalued, and he borrowed billions of pounds to bet that currency would fall. Soros' bet was correct, and he ended up making over $1 billion from the trade. This event earned him the nickname the man who broke the Bank of England. It is still his biggest achievement in his investing career. So let's have a look at the breakdown of how Soros executed this trade. In the early 1990s, the United Kingdom was part of the European exchange rate mechanism, which aimed to create stability among European currencies by keeping them within a narrow band of fluctuations. The British government, led by Prime Minister John Major, was committed to maintaining a fixed exchange rate for the pound sterling. In essence, today, currencies are allowed to fluctuate freely, but back then, they were artificially capped by a certain band, and for that to happen, governments were forced to buy currencies in the exchanges to control supply and demand. However, Economic conditions in the UK were really challenging at the time, with high inflation and high interest rates. George Soros and his team at the Quantum Fund analyzed the situation and saw vulnerabilities in the pound's position within the mechanism. Soros concluded that the British government commitment to maintaining the pound exchange was unsustainable given economic realities. He believed the pound was overvalued, and its exchange rate within the mechanism was unattainable. Soros then began building a significant short position against the pound. Quantum Fund borrowed large amounts of pound, anticipating the currency's value would then fall. Soros was vocal about his stance, making public statements questioning the UK's ability to maintain its fixed exchange rate. His comments influenced market sentiment and attracted attention to the pound's vulnerability. And then on September 16, 1992, a series of events unfolded that led to the culmination of Soros' trade. The UK government raised interest rates to bolster the pound, but this move was insufficient. And then as pressure mounted, the government ultimately withdrew the pound from the mechanism, allowing it freely, and in the process, the pound's exit from the mechanism resulted in a sharp devaluation. Soros, having bet against the currency, made a substantial profit. Some estimates suggest that Soros and the Quantum Fund made profits exceeding $1 billion in just a few days, making one of the most successful trades of all time. Soros' successful speculation had a profound impact on the perception of currency markets and the ability of governments to maintain fixed exchange rates. The event solidified Soros' reputation as one of the world's most successful and influential traders. Soros also speculated against other currencies after his massive success with the British pound, demonstrating that individual investors' potential to influence global financial markets were actually a lot higher than it was previously thought. It was then an enduring mark on the currency speculation field. Here are the other currencies that Soros speculated against. The Italian lira in 1992. Soros also shorted the Italian lira and made another large profit. The Thai currency in 1997. Soros has been accused of speculating against the Thai currency in 1997, but he has denied his involvement because it was then linked to the Asian financial crisis. The Russian ruble in 1998. Soros shorted the Russian ruble in 1998. And he made a profit of over $1 billion when the ruble devalued. The Japanese yen in the early 2000s. Soros also shorted the Japanese yen in the early 2000s, but this is one of the trades that he actually lost his money, or some of his money. In the book More Money Than God, linked in the description of this video, the author claims through his research that Soros felt bad for earning money against the Thailand government, since he would go against his philanthropic efforts and therefore cut his trade short, and earning him a new nickname, Soros versus Soros, as his investor persona started conflicting with his philanthropist persona, since he was then at the same time hurting developing country finances by shorting their currencies, but then donating to causes to develop those same countries. Soros battled with this internal dialogue for decades, eventually choosing to settle down his business in 2011 when he closed his main fund, Quantum Fund, when he was already 80 years old. Soros is still actively investing, but he now focuses only on his personal investments. Philanthropy. Investor George Soros is considered one of the most generous philanthropists in the world. He has donated billions of dollars to charitable causes through his Open Society foundations. The Open Society Foundation supports various causes including democracy promotion, human rights, and education. The foundation has offices in over 100 countries around the world, and he has been very vocal about liberal democracy and open societies throughout his career. He has criticized authoritarian governments and human rights abuses around the world. Controversies. George Soros' life story is a controversial one. He has been accused of interfering with other countries' elections and promoting a global agenda. He has also been the target of anti-Semitic attacks. Soros has denied all of the accusations. He said he's simply trying to promote democracy and human rights worldwide. Although he denied involvement in the speculative attacks of the Thai currency in 1997, Soros' name was soon linked with the financial crisis that swept Asia the following year. Malaysian Prime Minister singled out Soros, stating he was responsible for the decline of the ringgit. In reality, Soros lost billions due to the crisis. Soros then recovered with early gains on the internet stocks in 1999, but his investment style became more conservative in the wake of the implosion of the technology bubble in 2000. In December 2002, a French court convicted Soros of insider trading for a 1988 stock deal involving financial services company Société Générale, and he was fined 2.2 million euros. Soros appealed the ruling, but it was then upheld by the French highest court in 2006. Facing new federal regulations concerning hedge funds, Soros announced in July 2011 that the Quantum Fund would no longer manage outside investors' money. Instead, it would only handle the assets of Soros and his family. Many people believe George Soros' evil theories. One of the most common conspiracy theories about Soros is that he is a puppet master who controls world events. This theory is often based on Soros being a wealth philanthropist who has donated money to various causes, including democracy and human rights. Conspiracy theories claim that Soros uses his wealth to influence events and promote his agenda. It's very hard to find scientific evidence that support those conspiracy theories. Unfortunately, due to that, Soros has been a victim of several violent attacks, including a pipe bomb sent to his home in 2018. Here are some additional details about George Soros' personal life. He has been the author of several books, including The Alchemy of Finance in 1987, The New Paradigm for Financial Markets in 2008, and In Defense of Open Society in 2019. I'll link all of those books in the description of this channel. He is a strong advocate for the European Union and has criticized Brexit. He is a supporter of immigration reform in the United States. He criticized climate change deniers and has called for action to address the issue. He has been married 3 times and has 5 children. Soros is now married to Tamiko Bolton, born in California in 1971, who is an American entrepreneur and consultant. They have a 42-year age gap between them. There you have it. This is the George Soros life story. Did you like it? If so, please leave a like below and subscribe to the channel. Until next time.